Hello everyone, I'm back, and today I'm going to talk about my top 5 picks from the 10th edition's Tyranids Index. So without any further ado, let's check out our favorite alpha predators of the galaxy. Start with the HQ option. Let's check out the Old One-Eye. He is a rather tough one. Why do I think he is so great? Well, first of all, he is a Carnifex. I really like Carnifexes. But there are many other reasons that I think he is great. First of all, he has an amazing offensive profile. The most interesting thing that the Tyranids players need, those strength 14 attacks with really high damage, d6 plus 1, and with great armor penetration. I think Tyranid players are in a big need of this one, because other than the hyper adaptation which gives you lethal hits against enemy vehicles and monsters, you don't really have so high strength attacks with great damage, and he can provide you with that one. He has a profile against smaller infantry units, but you can solve that with almost any of your other units. Other than that, I said he's a tough cookie. Well, yeah, he has 9 wounds, toughness 9, armor save 2. He has a 5+ feel no pain, which is really great. It even provides some kind of a protection against mortal wounds. So yeah, he can fight, he is tanky, and not that slow. Do we need more? Yes. His abilities. He's a really great buffer. You can add him to a unit of Carnifexes. And those guys are really great on their own, but with the lead of Old One-Eye, they become even better. Old One-Eye is an alpha leader, which means while he is leading a unit, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, you can reroll your hit rolls, which is good on its own. But if you choose the hyper adaptation lethal hits, it just dials it up to 11. You will be a menace to enemy monsters and enemy vehicles. So this one is a great one. He has another ability. In your command phase, this model can regain up to D3 lost wounds, which makes him a little bit more tankier. That's nice. Okay, let's go to the next one. Haruspex. Another big tough monster. Okay, on its own, it has a really great stat block. It has a really great toughness of 11, it has 14 wounds, 3+ save, and okayish movement speed. And he also has one interesting ranged attack, with somewhat of a short range and only one attack, hitting on a 3+, with a strength of 6, 2 points of armor penetration, and damage d6 plus 1, which is okay, but the strength is a little bit low. However, this weapon has the ability of precision, so you can snipe characters before you attack the units. It can be a one-hit wonder. No. Okay, it has this one shot, but its melee profile is terrifying. All in all, it has 18 attacks. It has 14 attacks with okay profile, hitting on a 3+, with strength 7, 1 points of armor penetration, and damage 2. That is really great almost against everything and anything, especially if you choose the lethal hits hyper adaptation. But it has 4 extra attacks with the shoveling claws, so it's the same thing as in case of Old One-Eye. Anti-tank and anti-heavy attacks with great strength and a little bit unreliable, but other than that, great damage output. All in all, it has great profiles. But it also has an interesting thing called Grisly Spectacle. Basically, if you kill a unit in melee with this one, then each enemy unit within 6 inches must take a battle shock test. It can be really great. Enemy can lose objectives or even just the ability to use stratagems on these units. And with these number of attacks, if you don't split them very wide, I can almost guarantee you that you can kill a unit with this one. Okay, let's go to the third one. This will be a less interesting option, but really great and useful. Gaunts. While these guys doesn't seem strong or even interesting, they are just a really great utility tool. The only thing that we really have to check out is their ability. Neurosight. While this unit is within synapse range of your army, it has the synapse keyword. And that thing comes really handy, because when your Tyranid units are in synapse, you can roll 3d6 for battle shock tests, which makes them much more easier to pass. So you can hold objectives, you can use stratagems on your guys. So these guys are Wi-Fi routers with claws and teeth. And you have to love them. They are dirt cheap, they do their job, and the model's looking okay. Okay, let's check on the fourth one. Mawloc. This one is somewhat similar to the Haruspex. However, it has better movement, but lower toughness. And it also has a tons of attacks. However, the attacks are not that potent as the Haruspex's attacks, but they are still okay. However, this unit has better mobility, because it can deep strike. And that's almost always comes in handy, because you are going to deep strike this character every time. Because of his ability, Terror from the Deep. Each time when you set this model up on the battlefield, using the Deep Strike ability, you roll 1d6 for each enemy unit within 12 of this model. On a 2 to 4, the enemy unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. On a 5+, the enemy unit suffers 3 mortal wounds and must take a battle shock test. So if your opponent is really stacked up, you can give out tremendous amount of mortal wounds. And you can force tremendous amount of battle shock test. As you can see, battle shock is your friend. And this is great, especially if you take it into consideration that with the Shadow of the Warp, the ability of this army, you can give out more battle shock test. And sooner or later, your opponent is going to fail at least some critical ones. But other than that, that 16 attacks with the strength of 8, 2 points of armor penetration and damage 1 is a blender. And its jaw, well, let's just say it can tear through infantry, especially with the anti-infantry 4+ and the devastating wounds combo and the damage 3. As far as I can see, we will see many lists with multiple Mawlocs. But if you're not a Tyranids player, well, I would say keep your eyes open and screen your army very well, because this guy can tear you a new one. Okay, and let's check on the last one. You've probably seen this one coming. Barb gaunts. If we are just looking at them bare bones, they are not seeming very great. Their cannons have really short range, no armor penetration, and a random number of shots, D6, so between 1 and 6, plus the blast, and only hitting on a 4+ or a 3+, but then you did not move, so the enemy had to come into that range, which can be risky if they can make a long bomb charge or something. And their melee profile is nothing much either. But they have a really great utility rule, called Disruption Bombardment. In your shooting phase, after this unit has shot, if an enemy infantry unit was hit by 1 or more attacks made by the unit's biocannons, until the end of your opponent's next movement phase, that enemy unit is disrupted. The disrupted units have to subtract 2 from their movement characteristic, and they have to subtract 2 from any advance and or charge rolls that they make. So this one is rather great, shutting down heavy infantry lists. Their one weakness, bikers or cavalry. Use them as you will, they can make your life much easier if you are planning to shift sides or want to focus one part of your enemy's army, because the other part will probably not reach you. Also, these guys are really great to shut enemy units, make them slower, and even after that, you can run and block their path on the next turn, so they can even hold the enemy movements for 2 turns or more. This was my 5 picks that I think are really cool and I would like to try them out. But my favorite one is probably Old One Eye or the Mawloc. Okay, now let's check out some honorable mentions. One of my friends, called Jack, asked me, why didn't you pick this one unit? Or why didn't you pick that one? Well,
making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Can't fret over every egg.
Okay, but other than this one, I think the Swarmlord, it was great, it's still great, and I think you will see him many times. Come out from the shadow of the warp, ha ha. And the other honorable mention, Hormagaunts. This guy's looking really nice. They're fast, and they can cause a lot of ruckus for the enemy. However, they are not that tough, and they won't do that much damage against toughness 4 or tougher enemies. But still fast, and can be scary in numbers. That's it for now. I was really shocked and surprised how many of you watched my top 5 Space Marine picks, and I'm really glad for the comments, especially since the 10th edition stuff I've got a lot of comments and I think we made many great discussions. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask or just express your opinion. I would like to know what you guys think, and I'm really happy you all here. Thank you for watching and listening. If you like what I do, please hit the like button, subscribe, or both, or even hit the little bell. Well, if you don't hit the little bell, I will probably upload a video on each week. The next one I'm planning to do is the Chaos Space Marines one. I hope I see you in the next one. See ya!